Okay, we are recording now. This is Principal New Family Orientation here for Summerfield Charter Academy. It's 10 o'clock in the morning here on Thursday, just a few days before school. And I'm glad to see everyone here. Thank you for coming. And again, if you have a question, type it in the chat there while I'm presenting. When I'm finished with my presentation, I'll come back to the room and we'll just have an open forum for questions in case I don't hit anything that you're thinking about. But go ahead and type it into the chat while we're talking, and I promise I will get back to it and answer that question. So thank you again for coming. I'm sure more people will join us, and I will be letting people in as I can. Let me hit the right button here. It always seems to change just a little bit every time I come to Google Meet. And there you should be seeing Summerfield Charter Academy, New Parent Orientation, Simply Better Together. I'm excited to share with you about our school, and let's kick it off with a little bit of school background and history. We are part of National Heritage Academies. It is a charter school management network that works in 9 different states. Over 100 is 101 now charter schools, and 15 currently in North Carolina, with 16 on the way. Back when SCA was founded in 2012, we were the 6th NHA school in North Carolina. You can see that it has grown substantially in the 12 years that we've been in existence as a school. So I'm really excited about our history. Been a part of National Heritage Academies for a long time now. And I am the founding principal of our school. So I've been here the whole time that we have been alive. So a little bit about me. I have been with NHA for 25 years. Just completed my 25th, which is kind of exciting. And also like, wow, where did the time go? And I'm the founding principal here. Before coming here as the principal, I was the principal at Greensboro Academy for about 10 years, where I also served as the assistant principal and teacher in my time at NHA. I've now served as principal longer at Summerfield than I was at Greensboro. So very excited about Summerfield being my home here. At Greensboro, I taught 4th grade before moving into school administration. And there's some pictures about me. That's me. And I'm known for wearing my bow ties and my Batman. And I have my Batman on right now. I don't know why it got to be Batman, but it is. And that's me. That's in my office. To the right of that are my 4 kids. I tell people I don't really have kids anymore. I have adults. They're all out in the adulting world. You can see me and my dog, Chester. Chester is my good fella at home. He's about 11 years old now. And then something that I'm really happy I did many years ago, I went to China and worked with English teachers, helping them teach English in their schools. And that's the group of teachers I worked with for 2 weeks while I was there. They are all English teachers. And we were helping them understand the culture of the language and ways that they could help enhance their learning. And it was a great experience for me being there and being a part of it. My other school leaders are, we set up our school leadership model to really surround our students with all the support we can give them. Of course, the number one support they have as a teacher. Supporting our teachers are our deans, and then, of course, me as principal. So you can see our 3 deans: Rebecca Swain, K2 Dean; Heather Carlson, 3-5 Dean; Miranda Robertson, 6-8 Dean. So depending on what grade band your scholar is in, you may be working with them as well as me over the course of the school year. Here's some school basics. We like to say we are a student-centered, caring community of academic excellence. And I want to flesh that out for you just a little bit about the school that you're getting involved. I promise I won't get too much detail, but let's start with student-centered. Really starts for us with strong communication. Our main tool is My NHA, where you can see grades, contact teachers, contact me. We have parent-teacher conferences at least twice a year, where we literally close down school and invite parents in to speak to us face-to-face about the progress your scholar is making. We also can meet with you any other time during the school year, but we really feel it's important to make sure you're receiving regular feedback on their progress. Newsletters from our teachers, principal word from me, phone call every Sunday night at 6:30. Those will launch this coming Sunday for the school year. And all that information comes through School Connect. So if you're a new family, you want to make sure you're taking the steps that should be there for you and some of that new school information to make sure you're signed up and signed into School Connect. We'll be making sure that all of our families are there, but you can make sure that you've opted into that so we can keep you informed by using that communication device, because there's a lot of information on it from your teachers, from me, from the school, and it's important for you to stay informed. We also like to focus on challenge and growth. In a couple of ways we do this. We have a pretty strong small group instruction to reach different levels of students in reading and math. We have a very strong intervention program for those students who are needing extra assistance to move to proficiency in their grade level. We also have advanced classes beginning in 3rd grade, advanced reading and advanced math that students can take part of, where they're literally practically studying at a grade level above their current grade level. So it's really important for me that we're taking every opportunity for any student, regardless of where they start, to make sure we help them learn and grow while they are here. And we do have a use of blended learning and technology. Our students are one-to-one Chromebooks, and how we use them varies at different grade levels. You know, our middle school uses them much more than our K2 students, and we try to balance that screen time with hands-on work, but want to make sure that we're challenging all range of students here. Community is very important to us. When I call on Sunday night, you'll hear me address the SCA family. Once you hear your family, one of the things that's important to us is our moral focus virtue. We integrate our studies of our virtue of the month in all that we do. Our first virtue will be wisdom. That starts in September. We have a Stampede Life Day every month. It is themed along the lines of our moral focus virtue. We'll have students dress up in different types of fun or creative ways, if they so choose. And then we'll also have special assemblies on that day. And so that's some of the ways we incorporate that. And one of the things that I really like is our annual moral focus writing and art contest. That happens in January, kind of December, January, where students can write or create an artwork piece based on one of our virtues. We find winners here at our building, and then we send those winners up to participate with National Heritage Academies in all 101 schools to see. And we've had winners, we have placements, and the winners that are picked from NHA get published in a book. So they're published authors and published artists. Another thing we have is our parent leadership team. This is the volunteer arm of our school. Parent leadership team is a group of parents that directs the activities of our parents, such as the foundation team that runs Invest in a Child, which is our main school fundraiser for activities. We have an extracurricular team that helps us plan grasshopper games, 5K, large fall festival coming up later in October. Staff appreciation team, my personal favorite, because they do a lot to help our teachers feel important and welcome. And this is also the arm where you can volunteer in the classroom with your son or daughter's classroom, or as a general volunteer in the office. There's lots of ways for you to be involved and help be a part of our school community. Some of the expectations we have for our parents, we want to make sure are important to everyone, is that, one, our scholars are present and on time for school. It's very important that they're here. It's very important that they're on time, especially at the beginning of the year. Those first few days are so very important to set the tone for the year and get everybody on the right foot. But be here, be on time, have students dressed according to the dress code. Always important. We want to make sure our students are dressed and ready to learn. And while, we don't dictate everything that they need to wear, we want to make sure that what they're wearing isn't a distraction for the learning of them or for others. Scholars need to be picked up on time. We're going to go over carpool here in just a few minutes, and we'll tell you the keys and the secrets to carpool. But we want to make sure that you're here, especially in the afternoon, because in the afternoon, you're standing between our teachers, being able to go home, being able to do other things here at school that they might need to do. And we want to make sure our students are picked up on time and agreeing to adhere to our Commitment of Excellence contract. It's all part of beginning this new process every year. How you choose to behave as a parent respectfully with everybody involved. And we want to make sure that we have a good, positive relationship with you. We want relationships with our families. We want to see you here at school. We want to see you involved with your scholars' learning. And we want to be able to have those positive relationships with you. And that's really important to us. And finally, behavior management is important. All of us need to be managed a little bit sometimes, but the important things to us are some of the things that we use. How we manage it. Our themes are be respectful, be responsible, and safe. So is what you're doing respectable? Is what you're doing responsible? Is what you're doing safe? If it isn't, we need to address those behaviors with you. We like to have direct communication with parents, with either School Connect or email, or even more importantly, a phone call. So we talk to you directly. Here's what happened. Here's maybe the consequence of what happened. Here's how we want to address it here, and you can share with us how you might want to address things at home. We also use some different strategies. One of them is a give them 5 strategy with a student who's in some type of behavior crisis. We want to show them support. We want to clearly communicate what they're doing is wrong. We want to clearly communicate what they need to do that is right. Why the benefit is why that is good and for them to do. We want to bring it to a close. So that student gets back to learning that we need to do. So that's all part of the community that we want to create here at the school. School safety, also extremely important. We're very safety conscious here. We will run, we have a dedicated safety staff member. That's me. I'm safety man here. That's what they call me anyway. We build an atmosphere of we for school safety. So we want everyone involved. Parents, students, staff know how to be safe here. We have regular practice and professional development on safety. Tomorrow, our teachers are back to school now, and they'll go through their big, long safety training tomorrow. And a lot of us have been through this, not the same training, but almost the same training for years. But it's important to us, and we need those reminders, and we need to remember how the process of things, if something was to go wrong, even if it's a minor event, how do we react, and what do we need to do? Fire, lockdown, severe weather, room clear, and others, we will monitor over the school year, drill as a staff, drill as a school, and keep informed about that. And most importantly, access control to the building. With the addition of our now new entry camera, once school gets started, shortly after carpool ends, we will close the front doors. They will be locked. And the only way you will be able to enter the school is to be buzzed in by the front office. There's obviously other outside doors, and we never want anyone to come in any of those doors. And staff and students know and are taught, don't let anybody in. Send everybody to the office. And you come to the office, ring the doorbell on the right, get buzzed in from the school. You'll be able to come into the front foyer, tell the people up front why you're here, what do you need, how we can help you, and then we'll take it from there. But that's an extremely important part of school safety. And finally, the Stampede Creed. We recite this every day throughout the entire school, and it was written by a group of our original students, and we wrote it in a way that everyone who's a part of the Summerfield Stampede can recite this. So parents, grandparents, staff, students, anybody connected with us can learn this creed. And we'll teach our students these creeds and expect them to know it by heart shortly after school starts. Last thing is academic excellence. Rigorous academics with a college-ready focus. We use the North Carolina state standards. We have opportunities to excel in the arts. We have exposure to world, American, and North Carolina history, of course, over our studies. We've already mentioned advanced math and advanced reading begin in 3rd grade. For students who are in kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade, we don't have a separate class, but we use small groups inside the classroom to advance those advanced learners and work with maybe the learners who need a little more help. Regular practice. We do give homework here. I know that's going out of style, but we do give it. It's a practice on basic facts, knowledge, comprehension. It extends the learning from the classroom and helps them learn and think and solve problems. Or you work in teams alongside other students. And then use of online curricular tools from home, such as Lexi and Dreambox, to enhance reading and math skills. And we hope that it is appropriate for each grade level. So if you're going to be saying, if you say your academic excellence is important to you, are you really academically excellent? Well, I would say yes for us. Our current letter grade after the 2022-2023 school year was an A from the state of North Carolina. We haven't received our official letter grade from this past school year. We hope and expect it to be the same one. We also exceeded growth this past school year, according to the measures that we use from the state of North Carolina. And that is about the 3rd or 4th year in a row, with the exception of COVID years, that we have exceeded growth. And we're excited about that. Our Eagle Awards we just received in July. We won 6. One of the ones that you need to know about as a parent is one for parent satisfaction. Parents are happy here. They're glad that their scholar is here, and we're very, very proud that our parents reply to our surveys saying that we're doing a good job. It doesn't mean we can't improve, and we want to continue to improve, but that's important. And finally, this past year, we learned by niche.com, we were rated as the #1 elementary and middle school in the Guilford County area. It's pretty impressive. They use a variety of statistics to find and decide on how they recommend that. And it's always nice to be #1 in something. So that's some things about how we're doing. And it seems like we're doing pretty well. One of the things that we say around here a lot is that we're simply better together. We know that the sum of our parts are much more important than each individual person. I know as the principal, I may be the person in charge here, but I'm certainly not the most important person here. And working together, we make things so much better for everyone, our families, our scholars, even our staff. So here's some things about school communication that are helpful for new families. Basic information here. School hours are from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Carpool begins in the morning at 7:20 a.m. and students will come into the gym. Students are dropped off and sent to the gym. In fact, that's where you drop off and go in. It's in the top end of our school. The doors will be monitored by staff members, and you'll be able to see that when you come on the first day. There's a little bit different for the first day, and we'll talk about that as well. Front doors then open at 7:40. So we release kids from the gym at 7:40, or really a little before, and they start heading up to the classrooms. The front doors, I come and open the front doors at 7:40, and from there out, students will come directly in the front doors. Don't worry, we're going to go over this again at the carpool time, and you'll be able to see that. Dismissal begins at 3 o'clock. It should be completed by 3:40. Now, the first few days of schools, it takes a little bit longer, but after about the first week, first 5 or 6 days, our time decreases down to about 3:40. So if you're coming after 3:40, you're late. But again, we'll talk more about carpool in just a few minutes. That's some basic and important information that you need to know and how it starts. Open house is next Monday night, and it starts August 19th. It's 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock here on campus. We encourage new families to come at 4 o'clock. And the reason we encourage that is there's less people here at 4 o'clock. And you can see the school a little better. You can maybe have a little bit more time with your teacher and get a better lay of the land for how the school operates. There's a lot of people that descend upon the school on open house. Parking lot will get full. It will get full to overflowing, really. Outside, some things that you can do. There will be places to learn more from the parent leadership team and how to volunteer. There'll be areas for you to sit in our gym. I'm pointing to the gym like you could see it because I'm here at school. And for you to eat. Outside of the gym, there's going to be 4 different food trucks. Taco Brothers, there's a burger truck coming, an ice cream truck coming, and then a donut truck coming. And you can purchase some food if you like. You can use our picnic tables outside if it's nice, or you can sit inside the gym. And we encourage you to move around the school, meet everybody you want to meet. I will be at practically the front doors when you come just into the front of the school. That's my post for 3 hours. So if you're looking to meet me, that's where I will be. And it's always an exciting and fun night to see those scholars come back in. And we want to make sure we try to take care of our new families as well. So it will be crowded. So if you can't come from 4 to 5, that's okay. Come when you can between 4 and 7 o'clock. Find yourself a place to park wherever you can park. Once parking spaces are full, people will begin to line up in different spots. You'll be able to figure all that out. But come and enjoy yourself. Meet your teachers. Meet me if you can. Move around the school. Get the lay of the land. Take your time and enjoy it. Grab some food and sit. Often families are coming together for the first time in a long time, and I close it out at 7 so our staff can go home. And families will just linger and talk and eat together. And it'll be a lot of fun, but make sure you come. If you can come at 4 o'clock or between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock, you'll miss a bit of the crowd, be able to spend a little more time with your family, but it's okay if you can't. So anytime between 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock is great. First day of school. It's a big deal, right? Next Wednesday. It's crowded. It's really crowded. Oh, I got the date wrong, don't I? It is August the 21st, actually. I'm very sorry about that. Got to fix that for the slideshow. It's August the 21st, so it's next Wednesday. It's going to be crowded. And we're going to talk about this at the carpool time in just another minute. Crowded. There will be a lot of cars, a lot of people. So I advise you to come early, especially if you want to walk your scholar in. You're going to walk your scholar in. The one exception we make on the first day of school is that we will open the front doors of the school right away. So at 7:20, when carpool starts, you will be able to, students can come out of their cars and come right into the front. If you want to park, there we go. If you want to walk your scholar in, you need to find a parking space. A parking space somewhere or park somewhere. On the first day of school and special events like that, we often run out of parking spaces. We'll line people up in front of the school. We will park people along the edges. So if you're going to walk in, find a place to park, get out of your car, come to the crosswalk in the middle of our carpool lines. Again, you'll see that in just a minute when I show some maps. And we'll get you across our lane safely and into the school. If you don't want to walk in on the first day of school, just follow the normal carpool path, which we'll show you in just a minute. But there will be a lot of people, a lot of crowds, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people stopping for pictures up front. There will probably be some music going on out in the parking lot. It's a big event. It's a nice event. So take your time, enjoy it. Don't let the slowness of the morning get you that morning because there will be a lot of people coming, a lot of people parking, a lot of people wanting to walk in for that very first day. And we want that to be a great time for our family. So we'll help you out all we can. So be patient. Just be patient. It might be your first day of school ever for your scholar, but it's not ours. We've had lots of first days of schools, and we know how to make sure we get it done well and help everybody have a great, successful first day of school. In fact, my very favorite thing to do on the first day of school is to count the number of scholars crying versus the number of parents crying. And almost every time, the parents win that number because they're dropping someone off, and it's such a momentous occasion for the family. And of course, the 5-year-old is excited to be in their class, and off they go. And but enjoy the time. Take the time with your family. Take the pictures you want. A lot of people go to our carpool signs because they're up there with grade levels on them, and they like to stand in front of the kindergarten sign or the first grade sign or the second grade sign, get a picture. Do that. Do all those things on the first day of school. On the second day of school, we immediately revert back to our regular path where we open up the gym at 7:20 and the front doors open at 7:40. So there's exceptions made for the first day of school because it is such a special day. So enjoy the moments. Take the time that you need with your family, with your friends, and enjoy what you want to do as you go. Because I'm about to go over the parts that aren't going to be fun. Trust me. Carpool. It's going to be horrible. And when I mean horrible, I mean it. I mean horrible. There will be long lines of cars. It will go very slow. We will run out of parking spaces, especially on the first day of school. People will be parking all along the edges, in the grass. The staff will park in the field on the first day of school, weather permitting. So if the weather doesn't permit, there will be even less parking spaces for people. But we'll all park in the field, hopefully, freeing up 60 or so or more parking spaces. But it's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible in the morning. It's going to be horrible in the afternoon. It's going to be slow. There will be lots of cars. And I'm telling you, it's going to be bad. So just prepare for it to be bad. But I also promise you this, it will get better. I promise you it will get better. It will get less crowded. There will be less lines. People will spread out, and it gets much, much better and much, much smoother. So just keep that in mind. The first few days of school, it's horrible. It gets a little better. Here's what happens, because I've done this so many times. Wednesday, horrible, terrible, long lines, slow, lots of people trying to learn what they need to do and how they need to do it. People trying to remember what they need to do and how they need to do it. And we're helping. We're all out there. We're getting you through it, and we'll get you through it. So Wednesday's going to be really bad. Thursday will be a little better. Friday will be better still. And then when we come back to school that next Monday, it'll be a little worse than Friday because we would have forgotten all the things we did from the week before. And then it will steadily improve Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then it'll be just about normal on Thursday, maybe even Wednesday if we're lucky. So keep that in mind. It's going to be bad for a couple of days, but I promise you in about a week, it will be smooth sailing for everyone. So morning carpool. What do you do when you come in the morning, right? This is a big deal. So morning carpool. Let me show you our map here. You can see that this map is a little old. We haven't made a new one yet, but you will enter the school coming south on 220. There's no other way to enter the school. If you're moving north on 220, you're going to go to that stoplight just north of the school, and you'll have to make a U-turn. There will be a long line at that U-turn. But we have that light fixed so that we have a long turning time there. What's important for you is if you will only stay in that line to turn left at that light. There are people who sometimes want to beat the system, and they'll go around the long line trying to turn at the U-turn. And so they go down to that stoplight, they take a right, and they turn down that road, and they find a place to turn around, and they come back to the light. And what happens when people do that, especially our people? It stops our traffic flow because the light then has to cycle, and it stops our families from being able to make the U-turn. And so it slows down the traffic flow for everybody. So please do not do that. If you go to that light, just wait your turn. I promise you, the longer the first few days, it's really going to be bad, but it will get better. I promise. And in a little bit, I'm going to teach you the keys to spending less time in our parking lot. So again, you will enter from the south or traveling south on 220. You'll take a right turn into the school, and you immediately there will be cones out there to turn your car. You'll immediately move around to the right, following that path to the back of the school where all those blue cars are going. And then behind the school, you will split into one of two lanes. We ask you to pick your lane, left lane or right lane, and stay in that lane for the remainder of your time in the parking lot. If you're going to park and walk in, you need to do your best to get in the right lane because that's where you'll have access to the most parking spaces. But again, on the first day of school, it's just going to be really crowded and people will be everywhere. So if you're going to walk in, find a spot. But generally speaking, what you will need to do is in the back of the school, you pick one of the two lanes, left or right. You stay in that lane all the way around. Now, if you see that kind of yellow dot sort of right in the middle of the picture, that's a crosswalk for people to cross who are parked down there or parked somewhere else to get safely up to the lane at the school level. So there's a staff member there, bright yellow vest, directing traffic. But your car, so you might be stopped there as a car for letting people cross, and then you will move around to that first orange dot, which is on the right part of the screen. That is where you will be stopped and then pulled in front of the school one lane at a time. So what we do is that from there, you will pull up in front of the school. The traffic director, they'll pull up the outside lane first, that blue lane, and fill up the top half of the carpool line with that. And then they'll pull the green cars into the bottom lane. We'll put in about 16, 17, 18 cars at a time. Students will get out of their car and move onto the sidewalk. And then depending on the time, either go into the gym, which is on the far left side of your screen, kind of where it says Some of Summerfield, or come into the front doors, which is under the charter word in Summerfield Charter Academy. First few days of school, we send some extra people out on the parking lot and have some extra people out on the sidewalk so that people know where to go and are reminded where to go. Especially, we'll have our keep our eyes out for any new families and new students. Once your scholar gets out of your car, you wait till the car in front of you pulls out. We don't want any cars moving out of line. We don't want cars jumping out and trying to go around because you can't see everything that's happening in the parking lot while our traffic directors can. So all we do is ask you to please wait till that car in front of you pulls. And then if your scholars have gotten out of your car, then you can pull out behind them. As you pull out, find that last dot there on the left, which is another staff member. You will wind around the parking lot, kind of making a U-turn all the way out. We only let people out in the right lane. So there's two exit lanes, but it's too dangerous to use the left lane. So we only allow people to use the right lane. And then you have to take a right to get back on 220 and head south. There's a quick UE. It's not in the picture there. So if you need to go north on 220, just outside of that picture is a place for you to make a quick U-turn if you need to go north and you head back on your line. That's the morning. So again, the times are 7:20 to 7:40. You'll let kids out at the same spot, and then they will walk up to where the gym is and go in. 7:40, the front doors open, and students can get out of their car and go directly into the front of the school, and school begins at 8. Now, we'll give some grace when school first starts, but shortly after 3-4 days, we will shift to closing those front doors at 8 o'clock and start counting people tardy after 8. So it's really important to be on time. That is morning carpool. Again, I've been talking a lot. And if you do have a question, enter it there in the chat box, because I'm about finished, and I will jump out there when I'm done with the presentation and get that get those questions answered. So those are important pieces there. So let's talk about some important things. Those are your parking spaces there in the red circles. That's the areas you want to park. Generally speaking, the parking spaces, the other parking spaces are taken up by staff members. So if you're there on a regular day, those are the areas that you want to get to if you're going to park and walk in. On our first day of school, weather permitting, staff will be parked over in the field and more parking spaces will be open. So, important morning carpool facts. Be on time. Scholars should be ready to exit the vehicle when it's time to access the sidewalk. So we really want our scholars ready to go in the car. The car pulls up to the parking lot or next to the sidewalk. Boom. Done. We've pulled up. Car's in park. Kids are out. We don't want them gathering their stuff and trying to get their notebooks. We don't want parents hopping out of the car and helping kids. We want our kids prepared to exit the vehicle on their own. Now, I realize that some kids might need some extra help early on, but make sure they're ready and do it quickly. Scholars walking into the school must be escorted up to at least the crosswalk at the entrance. So if you're parking, no student should be moving through any part of our parking lot alone, ever. If you're running late, we have parents who just want to drop them off down there at the bottom of the access point. No, that is not allowed. No scholars should be walking through our parking lot without a parent with them. If you want to walk them in, you walk them all the way up to the crosswalk. If you don't want to walk onto the crosswalk, use the regular carpool. Follow those lanes and we'll take care of you from there. So make sure that. We discourage walk-up scholars as it does kind of slow down traffic flow in the parking lot. We understand that some people need that. We understand that, especially early in the school year, a lot of people like to do that. I discourage you to doing that when you can, because we'd really like to see more people in the regular carpool lane. Cuts down on traffic because eases our traffic flow. That's morning carpool. Afternoon carpool. Good thing about afternoon carpool is the traffic flow pattern is pretty much the same. You'll exit or enter the school coming in from the south. You'll wind around the back. Excuse me. You will then pick either the left lane or right lane and wind through the parking lot. Again, that yellow dot is a crosswalk. The first yellow dot there in the middle, where people cross sometimes. And then that first orange dot on your right will be your traffic director. From there, cars are pulled up. And we pull up 2 lanes at a time, all the way up into the loading zone. The loading zone you see there circled is the top half of our driveway, but this is where we load our cars. The blue cars in that picture are being loaded with students. The green cars are waiting their turn. So it's important that you follow the flow of traffic. We direct you up to the loading zone or waiting behind there. Students are not allowed to get in a car below our crosswalk. So that middle orange dot, that is the crosswalk. Students are not allowed to leave the loading zone and go south. So no student should be getting in a car in this particular picture that is green. They only should be loading in the blue cars. Again, we'll have extra people out there to help. And that's kind of the flow of traffic. One thing that's really helpful is that you have your driveline sign. Hope you can see that. That is my driveline sign, although I don't have anyone to pick up. This needs to be clearly displayed in your car where we can see it. When you hit that first orange dot there on the right, the one on the right, that is where we enter our numbers. So you're going to pull in. This needs to be displayed where we can see it. The best place to display it is on your rear view window. The best thing to do is get a little hook, a little clothes hanger that you can clamp on. You then hang that on your rear view mirror, and it's the easiest for everyone to see. Some people like to slide them down, and they put them down in the bottom or lay them across their dash. Those they're very hard to see. The sun reflects off of them, makes them hard to see. Sometimes we have to stop you from moving because we can't see your card. But if you're up on the rearview mirror like that, we'll see it. We'll see it, and we'll be able to get your number entered in. So the orange dots there, the first one on the right enters it in. When traffic moves, you'll pull up. Once you cross the crosswalk into the blue, you'll stop, park, and students will get in the car. We load both of those blue lanes at the same time, but nobody moves until all students are in the car. There's one more traffic director. If you watch this person in that middle sidewalk, that middle orange dot, that person will tell you when to pull up. The last orange dot on the left tells you where to stop, and that person will also tell you when to exit the parking lot, when to leave. And then you follow the same pattern out. Go around, U-turn, out there, turn to the right, and off you go. So what's really important is this is displayed up neatly where we can see it. You should get this. You'll get this at open house. You can get it at the first day of school. You can get as many of these as you want. We'll make as many as you need. And so you'll see Kim Jackson. There will be ways for you to get it. But Miss Jackson up front, she is the carpool queen to get your sign. So don't forget about that. But as soon as you need one, you let her know. So if you need one, Dad needs one, Grandma needs one, Grandpa needs one, we'll get as many. If you got a babysitter, you got an aunt, anybody that picks up and is on your pickup list and is able to have one of these cards, we will make you one for them. Because shortly after school starts, we'll begin not allowing anyone to pick up students that doesn't have this card. If you don't have this card displayed, we will make you go park and walk inside to the office, show identification to the person there, and then we will get the scholar you need. So please make sure you're getting these and getting them displayed in your car when it's time for the afternoon carpool. That's a lot. Main things to remember about afternoon, don't be late. If you want to avoid waiting in long lines, come a little later in the process. Early on, school dismisses at 3. There will be long lines waiting at 3 o'clock. It takes about 20 minutes to empty our parking lot. So if you are a car and you just barely get in our parking lot and you're now in line in our carpool line, you've got to go through all of those stops and moves. It will take you about 20 minutes to get from just the entrance of our parking lot to exiting our parking lot with your scholar. If you come a little later, it'll take you 15. Come a little bit later than that, it might even take you less than 10. So keep that in mind when you come to pick up. Please display your driveline number where it is visible for staff to see. Again, the best way, get a small hanger, clamp it on, put it on your rear view mirror. So what are the keys to being successful in carpool? Because carpool is a lot. Here are the hints. 1, come early, come late. I know that sounds strange, but come early in the morning. Remember, you can drop off at 7:20. First day of school might be a little hectic at 7:20. Second day of school, you'll cruise right through the parking lot. You'll go right through the lines. You'll pull right up. Your kids will go out. They'll get right into the gym, and you'll get right out. If you come at 7:55, you're going to be in a long line and wait. Our parking lot, if you move all the way through our parking lot, it's about 7/10 of a mile. So getting inside our parking lot only puts you about a half mile from where you would actually drop off. So if you've got to wait on a half mile worth of cars, you can see that could take a long time. So come early in the morning, but come later in the afternoon. Don't come at 3 o'clock. You will be stuck right there with all that traffic. If you come at 3:15, 3:30, we're not upset with you because we expect carpool to end about 3:40 every day. If you come at 3:30, you'll spend much less time in our parking lot Your child is going to sit safely in their classroom. They'll be inside in the air conditioning. They'll be able to do some work. They'll be able to be quiet. They'll be able to read a book. They'll be well taken care of. And you'll spend less time in the carpool line. Be patient, especially early on. Let things take their time, because the most important thing in carpool is that we do it safely, efficiently, quickly. Those will come, and those I'm not saying they're not important, but safety is paramount. And so be patient. Everything we do out there, we do it to be safe. So be patient. If you don't understand why we're directing you somewhere, just go where we're telling you to go, because we know where you need to go. And we'll answer your questions later. We'll help you with any of that. So keep that in mind. And thirdly, don't be that parent. There's always that parent. But don't be the parent who wants to rush through, cut lines, turn at the light to the right, and slow everybody down. They want to come late because, I don't know, we're at Walmart checking out, and it's okay. Teachers don't have anything else to do. It's okay for me to show up at 4 o'clock. Well, it's not. It's not okay for you not to be here on time. We all count on our parents being here on time. And by signing up here, we're expecting you to be on time. I know things happen. Flat tires, cars break down. All of that happens with afternoon carpool. But don't be the parent that we're waiting on, or that we're calling every other day saying, your scholar's still here. When are you going to be here? Don't be that person who wants to rush through, cut lines, turn out. Everybody's got somewhere to go. Everyone's got somewhere to be. Everyone's going to be in that line. And I promise you, trying to make that move is not going to save you near as much time as you think it will. So be here on time. And I like this meme because it's saying, well, the fact that I'm making a meme instead of driving to school determines that that was a lie, because I'm not going to be on time. So that brings me to the end of my time. I know I've talked a lot because there's a lot to starting school. So let me come back to the presentation. I will check my chat box and see. Oh, Nancy's here. Good. Yes, I made that mistake. Open house is the 19th, and first day of school is the 21st. So we've got a few minutes left. For anybody who has any other question, I will, or Nancy will, be happy to help you with anything you have. I really appreciate you coming. Hopefully you find this helpful and is able to help you get you started. Yes, Wim, you have a question.
Hi, thank you, Mr. Swafford, for the presentation. I had few questions. What if my child is enrolled in an after-school program? Mm-hmm. Who would I inform to make sure that you guys know which after-school program and?
Are you talking like an after-school care program?
Yes, like Prolific Park. Yeah.
Yes, sure. Our office obviously needs to know that, and so does their teacher. And we'll craft a list of people who are in after-school cares, because there's several that pick up at school. And so they'll be on a list for Prolific Park. And what your child will do will be stay in the classroom until Prolific Park comes to pick them up on their bus. And then she'll be called down to the gym, where they will then come out from the gym and load them safely onto the bus. Pretty simple maneuver. Just the important thing is to make sure we know that's where they're going, so that we can get her on the proper list and get them down. We check them off every day, deliver them safely to the bus, and then the bus, of course, takes it from there.
Okay, so it's like we inform the teacher, or we do it through the portal?
Well, I don't know if you can do it through the portal. You definitely need to make sure your teacher knows that they're going, and the teacher can inform the office so that we can then get them on that right list.
Okay. Then the class placements, I read in an email this would be available August 9th. Maybe I missed something, but if I didn't get the email or couldn't find it, is it another place we can find that out?
Is this for kindergarten?
Kindergarten, yes.
Okay. I will check that. You'll receive an email that says, so let me check and see where that is. I don't know if Nancy, if you know where that's at yet or not, if it's been sent out and we need to find it. But let me check on that with our kindergarten teachers and our K2D, Miss Swain.
Mr. Swafford, can you hear me? This is Nancy.
Yes, I hear you, Nancy.
I walked away quickly to talk to a kindergarten teacher, but I think the question that Wim has is, how does he notify that his daughter will be attending an after-school program? Is that correct?
Well, that was his first question. The question we're asking now is class placements for kindergarten.
Class placement for kindergarten should have gone out yesterday.
Okay.
Wim, did you not hear, or have you not heard from the teacher yet?
I have not, and maybe I missed something, but no.
Okay, yep, they should have all gone out. If you're okay with it, I'd be happy to give you a call in about 5 minutes after Mr. Swafford's presentation is over, and I'll get you that information.
Okay, yep, that's great. Thank you.
Perfect, you're welcome.
And
we have a few more minutes. If you have another question or anybody has another question, you can type it in chat. If you can't unmute and talk, that's fine. Or you can, unmute, raise your hand, and we're happy to do that. I will check on those kindergarten placements. I thought they had gone out, and we'll see if they're out the way they should be. Happens sometimes, and especially with new families, email addresses get mixed up and things like that.
So I had one more question. You mentioned the pickup card with the number. Will that be like given to our child when we pick the first day, or how
you actually will be able to pick it up at open house.
Open house, okay.
Should be like sitting in their area. It's one of the things you would pick up.
Okay.
And then there's probably, I think, 2 that we give out at open house, and there will be a spot where you can request more. And Miss Jackson makes them in the office. So if you need more than 2.
Okay, thank you very much.
So at open house, you can bring in supplies and different things and get a lot of kids will get their desk set up or their table area. You'll pick up some forms and some information and your driveline card and all of that stuff. So well, we don't have any more questions. Thank you so much for joining me. I apologize. I got the wrong date on the first day of school. It is the 21st. Don't want anybody confused. It is August the 21st, and I will fix that for this evening's presentation. And that is at 7 o'clock tonight. Again, it's the same information I just shared with you. You don't need to come to both. This one is being recorded, so a little bit later today, I'll have it placed on my YouTube channel and get that information out to our new families as well. So thank you again. I'm very glad that you are here and have coming. I'm excited to meet you in person when that opportunity arrives, maybe between now and Monday, or at least on Monday or Wednesday. I'll be at the front door the whole time and ready to go to meeting our scholars and families and excited about the first day of school. Thank you for joining us, being part of our family. And I look forward to meeting hopefully in person, and have a great rest of your day. Welcome to the SCA family.